Hi, this is Michael P. Coleman, Content Director for Brother Be Well. Thanking you for checking out this series, this trauma and healing series brought to you by Blue Shield of California's Blue Sky Initiative. For this particular one, we're talking about brain chemistry and changing your brain via storytelling and journaling. And so I want to dig just a little deeper. I've learned that the hippocampus is the part of the brain that we actually use for storytelling. You and I'm pretty sure it was you and I know it was. We did a trauma and healing video on holistic treatment options with regard to mental health. So if you would give just a bit of a teaser to that one, Julio, for somebody who hasn't seen it, how can we make sure holistically we are giving our hippocampus everything that it needs in order to do what it needs to do?
Your hippocampus in exercise needs to be stimulated. It needs to have good nutrients, be nourished, have plenty of water, make sure that your brain is hydrated, and that you challenge it, right? That you challenge your brain so your hippocampus can exercise. Um, you can do puzzles, you can do play chess, anything like that to help you to keep a healthy brain. And when we talk about holistic approach, I think about also like the foods that we're putting inside of us, being hydrated, making sure that we're healthy, that we're exercising, that we see the doctor, that we have talk to a therapist, whatever it is that is going to help all of that so our brain can be like, hey, I'm not in survival mode, I'm in healing growing mode.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I add one more, breathing. We talked about that as well. Grace Cecilio is our mindfulness expert at Brother Be Well. If you need to learn how to breathe, Grace can show you how to do it. So check out one of those videos at brotherbewell.com. Let's talk, Julio, if we could, about we've talked about how journaling can be helpful. There are a lot of different ways that we've touched on already. I'm curious about how it might be harmful. We might want to be a little careful as we start to write things down and dig in if we're not doing it with some type of assistance or guidance from a professional. Yes?
Absolutely. I think that it's kind of like when you're going to change your diet and you're going to start exercising. One of the recommendations is talk to a professional before you start doing any of the things, right? If you have the ability, talk to a professional, talk to somebody that in any of the fields, whether it's a therapist, a counselor, substance use counselor, an integrated behavioral health provider that can tell you, hey, pace yourself, get to know your limits, get to know what you can write. Sometimes we want to jump into like, I had to write every day and I had to pour all my emotions. And it's kind of like the same thing that many people who make the commitment in New Year's that I'm going to go to the gym every day, I'm going to work for an hour and a half, and they burn themselves out and they are bummed because they are not able to do it. As I said, your hippocampus is a muscle, right? That needs to be nourished, it needs to be trained, it needs to be exercised. So, exercise, journaling, practice it, see how you feel. If it's something that is comfortable for you, and sometimes we're not ready to talk about all the emotions that we have. Think about the journal as a new person you met. When you're talking to a new person, you don't immediately tell them all the dark, painful secrets or experiences or trauma that you have. You get them, you start telling them a little bit about what makes you you, who you are right now. And then when you start feeling more comfortable, then you start opening up and you say, hey, sometimes I behave this way because this happened to me. And you may not go into all the details. Same thing with your journal. Just start putting a little bit of what's happening, and then recognize that you may not be ready to tell your journal everything. And then you pace yourself, and then you look back at it, and you can see it from a different angle, right? One of the ways that I think about, like, how do I know I'm ready to pour more into my journal? When I read it and I have a different emotion than when I wrote it. And I'm like, wow, I went through all that, but now I have gratitude. Now I learn. It's not as painful as it was because I have a different feeling about who I am.
Julio, you have got such a beautiful way of conceptualizing connections that I just never saw before. I never have thought about a journal as a person. When you said think about it as you're meeting a new person, and that's so obvious now to me. Of course, you don't. You're right. You don't meet someone for the first time and then tell them about all the intricate details of the last even day. You wouldn't meet a brand new person and say, "Oh my God, let me tell you everything that went wrong today." You kind of take it slow. So I've just never thought of my journal that way. But honestly, I'll never think of my journal the same way again after that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Really
it's
appreciate that.
the friend that is there for you when you need it and ready for you at any moment.
Wow, love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, sir. I think it's important. We've talked about these journals. They're fairly inexpensive. Many of us have smartphones, and there's like the joke. There's an app for that. Many apps for that actually. But a notebook is pretty inexpensive. You can grab one. A pen is pretty inexpensive. So it's something that most people can do. Can you give us a few concrete tips on how someone maybe that's new to journaling can do it, can use journals quite effectively?
Absolutely. I think that um, if you don't want to have an application, you don't want to put your emotions online because it can be intimidated to go online and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it out there, and we know that whatever goes online stays in there forever. But like, go to a bookstore, like go to a place where you can like take a look at the journals that they have. Find the one that jumps at you. Some of them, my favorite one, the one I have, it tells me like today practice uh, an act of compassion for somebody else, right? So I write, today I was able to do this for a person, and then there's another section that tells me what was the most painful thing that happened to you today, or the biggest challenge you faced today. So I write a little bit about it. If you have the ability to change something for tomorrow, what would that be? Right? So there is like so many different ways, like getting to know what is challenging you, how you feel more comfortable. And if you just want to use a regular, like 99-cent store, like a notebook, it doesn't cost anything to go to the library, to go to a bookstore, to look at journals that they have, or to go online and see, hey, how do these people journal? And copy some of the ideas that work for you.
So it's great, great, great tips. I really appreciate all of those too. That journal of yours sounds pretty fascinating too. I might have to find one like that. As we get ready to wrap up, Julio, we're kind of a microwave society. I said it before, and so we all want a quick fix. We want it to all be perfect tomorrow. So I thought I'd ask you, as an integrated behavioral health specialist, how quickly might journaling or storytelling begin to deliver someone from those trauma responses that we all want to get away from? How quickly might you be able to feel or sense a shift or a change?
I think that is different for every single one of us, but using the analogy that I did about thinking of your journal as a friend, same thing when you're writing about your story, there may be little things that you start feeling better about, right? Or having that book that now I can pour what I'm feeling into it. And you may not feel like this huge like relief, but there's at least a little bit of relief. Like, start building on it. Don't expect it to be like miracle cure. Like, when I think about what my journal is supposed to do for me, or like telling my story to people, the reality is that a lot of my trauma took years for me to be able to get out of it. It took years for it to build. And I was in an abusive relation for many years, and I didn't see it. So I cannot expect that journaling or storytelling or therapy or anything that I'm doing for healing is going to work like this, right? It has to take time. But also with that is appreciating every single piece of progress that we make. If you write something and you look at it and it's like, today somebody told me that I look good. I have that smile, that's progress. Somebody to tell you those glasses you're wearing are amazing. Write it down because now you have something to be grateful about.
I love that, and I also love that you said that the trauma took a long time and the healing took a long time. I think I'd like to close with we're worth the time. We ourselves, you got to learn to give yourself some grace and love yourself and know it's going to take a little time, but I'm worth the time, and
Absolutely.
we're all worth the time. Julio Cruz, integrated behavioral health specialist and Brother Be Well clinical advisor. I love every single conversation I've ever had with you, sir, and feel blessed to be able to have an opportunity to share conversations like this with everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm blessed to be here also.
We'll see you next time. Appreciate it. And I want to thank our sponsor for this conversation, Blue Shield of California's Blue Sky Initiative. They sponsored this entire series of conversations on trauma and healing. That Blue Sky Initiative of Blue Shield of California's boosts access to mental health support. You can learn all about the program at bluesky.blueshieldca.com. That's bluesky.blueshieldca.com. Another site I'll tell you about before you get out of here, brotherbewell.com. That's ours. And if you like this video, there are a whole series of videos, not just in this series, but on a variety of behavioral health topics, all targeting boys and men of color, 13 and up, African American, Hispanic, Native or Indigenous, and Asian and Pacific Islander. You can check out all of those videos, audio podcasts, compelling pieces, all at brotherbewell.com. You can join as a member there, or if you'd like to sign up for our blog, the blog's completely free. Just give us your email address and you'll start to get notifications 2 or 3 times a week as videos just like this one go live. So check it all out, brotherbewell.com. My name, Michael P. Coleman, Content Director for Brother Be Well. I want to encourage you to do 2 quick things for me. Take great care of yourself, and everything we're doing here is designed to help you do that. When you get that down pat, grab somebody, help them out, take care of somebody else too. Till next time, bye-bye.